welcome Slots and Sprues. Today we, oh I say we, me, not you because you're not here. I'm going to be doing some touch-ups on the hillside, mountain, valley, gravel, quarry thing, whatever it's going to be called. I've had to cut some bits out because of the mainly because the Starsky and Hutch car is so long, it was hitting the corner, so I've got to do some touch-ups there. It's a bit too dark, so I want to try and lighten it if possible, with some dry brushing. So it's the first time I've done dry, well, I say first time, second time possibly I've ever done dry brushing. First time didn't go so well, so let's see what we can do. If we can get some highlights, I need to get rid of the blue bits that are showing because they're not nice. And then we'll take it from now. So I painted them black. So anyway, let me just flip the camera around, get that set up so you can watch my pathetic attempts at dry brushing and weathering and whatever else I'm going to be doing. So I think the best way of doing this is if I show you where I'm at. Obviously don't worry about all this messy bit, this is where the track is, it covers this all up. So I need to just touch up, just lighten these edges up a bit, I think. Because once it goes in there, it's a little bit dark. So I'm just gonna just lighten that up. This blue bit needs to be touched up again. This blue bit needs to be touched up again where the Starsky and Hutch car kept hitting, and then we want to just do something around here. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It just looks a bit dark when it goes in underneath that shelf. Obviously, this green's going to have static grass and mud and stuff up here once I get round to it. Same over here. It's going to have static grass. Same here, and some. Not just grass, there's going to be some features up here which I'm not going to go into at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll stop the filming and then we'll come back when I've done a bit and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, I don't know if you can see that from, so that's what that side looks like, and that's what this side is starting to look like. So we painted this with some standard just household black paint I've got. So that's going to take a bit of time to dry. Just stick that there for a minute. Just put that over there. Leave that there. So hardly want anything on this. I'm just trying to highlight the jaggedy bits, and you can hardly see anything going on. So a touch of paint, and then you obviously wipe it off as much as you can. You don't want hardly anything on the brush. And you just highlight certain areas, and it's so subtle. It's so subtle, you wouldn't believe how little paint you need to achieve the effect. It is really, really, really subtle. Screen's got off. I just want a bit under this. Right. So that looks so much better than what it did before, in my eyes anyway. So much better. If you compare that to this side, lot of difference. So let's do a bit over here. If I can get this camera to a bit of it. Let's have a try over here. Let's have a try over here. So again, I load the brush and then unload the brush. And mistakes I made before is I left too much paint on, and it's amazing how little you need to get an effect. I mean, that brush looks dry. I mean, I know that's the name of this game, dry brush, but that looks extremely, there's nothing on it, look, it's still coming out and highlighting. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's just getting, I need to touch that up with something now. It's just making such a difference. You wouldn't believe, you just don't believe how little paint you need to make an effect. As long as you pick out the right areas. So all the edges need to be highlighted, I think. But see, look, that's just nothing on it. There's nothing on it, and it's still coming through. Let's get a bit of light on the subject. But it just gives it a bit of depth, don't you think? Just gives it a little bit of something else. Just load it up and then load it. Now this bit here I don't particularly like. It's just that I use that bubbly kind of polystyrene for the base to save on the more expensive XPS stuff. So my intention is I'm going to put some rockfall in this bit here. So I've seen someone with plaster of Paris, just make plaster of Paris in a tub, then crack it and then shake it and keep shaking it until you get to the kind of balls or boulders or rocks that you want. It looks quite effective, because I don't particularly like this kind of area down here. I mean, you can't see much of that because of the track. But you can just see that the subtle little changes. It's really, really good. You just want to grab the highlights. This side's more brown than that side. So even that little jaggedy bit there, just do that. It just blends it in. Just blends it all in. Just blends it in lovely. I think that looks, for me, second, well, kind of second attempt. I think I'm, oh, that's a bit much. See how that's a bit much there? See that? Even though I wiped that brush completely off, it just went a bit too much. But that's going to go over with some brown mud or something at some point. It just takes the edge off. Loving it. I need to touch that in with something, don't I? Don't think I've got any paint left on here. Let's get a big dollop on here. See what we can do with that. See what we can do with that. What? Let's put a little smidge on that corner. Bloody bit of blue will not, can you see that little tiny bit of blue there will not go away. Got it. That'll do. And we've got some black on here now. So I don't know how long this bit round here is going to take to dry. But let's just stop that there a minute. Anyway, hang on, let's not stop it. Let's just have a little butcher's. I think them rocks look kind of good. I'll put some tracking in a minute and then we'll see what else we can do once this bit's dry, what we can do around here maybe to make it look a bit better. I've seen some ideas with sandpaper to make it look like concrete, so I might have a little whirl with that. But let's have a stop there for a sec. Oh, I've got paint on it. It won't stop. It won't stop. That's because I'm not recording, you twat. Okay, done a little bit more. We've done this side now. I don't know if you can notice the difference, but it's still a bit light there. That's from previously, but once you come back, it doesn't really stand out as much. So I might need to darken, I might need to get a little bit more grey, a little bit more black in it and try and see if we can darken it up. But the highlights, I think are looking pretty good now. I think they're looking pretty good. Let's just put that there for a sec. Let's just put that there for a second. Don't like this white bit here. Not gonna lie. Let's see if we can darken it up a bit. I need to wipe that out, it's a mess, that cap. Right, so that's a bit darker grey. Get wiped off here as much as we can. Just see if I can give that a bit, just to dumb it down a bit. It's a bit too bright, I think. So don't mind the brown, that's like, there's some rusty bits in the earth kind of job. But that's a bit too bright for me, that bit there. And then maybe a tad more on the brush. Let's get a little bit more on the brush, maybe. Just go gentle. Just to try and dull it down a little bit. So there we go, so it's not so bright. I think that's the only bright bit that really stands out, but I do want that metallic-y kind of look, do you know what I mean? But not too metallic-y, not too bright. Quite a bit on there now, just to dull it off a bit. I think it needs a bit more black. You know what, I might even dash a bit of brown in there. Covered in it here. See what that goes like. It's better, isn't it? It's better. Bit more colour. I don't know if this is picking up on the cam because it's so subtle, but the whole thing as you go through makes a really good effect. It's been caught somehow, isn't it? So bloody, get my finger in here, I think. go. Just get a bit more brown down here. Oh, what do we? I don't like this bit here either. Come on, no, that needs dulling down. It's collected in there as well. Right, that's that bit. I don't know if to do a bit of that round this side. Do a bit round this side. Bit. Maybe a bit up here. Just a little bit here and there, just to break it up a bit. Gives it another bit of interest, doesn't it? I mean, you can barely see it, but when you catches the right light, I think we're a bit too brown around there though. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. For now, I have to come back later, do the same process, but whilst I'm waiting for that, I might look at the sandpaper trick. So let me just end this for a second. Okay, had a spot of lunch, let this dry. So what my intention is, I was going to put some sandpaper down there and give it like a concrete type effect, but I didn't like the way the sandpaper come out. So what I'm going to do, I've got some plaster of Paris. I'm going to mix up some plaster of Paris and maybe put some brown paint in it. To see if we can sort of get a muddy look out of it, maybe. And then we'll go round now and sort of just see how far I can get, really. let me get a bit mixed up and then we'll come back and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we plastered round with some paint in it just to make it a bit more brown. Then I can go over it with some dry brushing and whatnot later. But what I want, let's get this clean if I can. I need it smooth. I need it smooth as I can get it, really. I don't mind the odd dip here and there. But obviously the cars are going to go on it, so where the wheels are going, really could do with a bit in there. A bit of a dip. Let's get it nice and see. And then crack that off. Crack that off. And we can smooth that out a bit. Let's try and crack that. Need to let it dry a bit. And then it cracks away. And you can just go in, kind of smooth the edge with your finger. This way, hopefully there'll be a little gap for a bit of expansion and your track doesn't get covered in shit. Just got to be really gentle with it. He says another. I don't want to crack the other bit. I think I've gone a bit too thick around there. So it's coming off nice round here. But I think I've gone a bit too thick. Gone a bit too thick around there, I think. Let's see if we can let me help it. Yes, it's a bit thick now. On the corner there, that's nice. So what I'm going to do is going to keep just chipping away at that, taking it down because that's too high a corner. We'll keep working at it and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, let's have a look. It's not come out too bad actually. So what I need, that's a bit proud. So I'm going to just take that down a bit. Got a bit of a crack over there, I've got to fill that. And it's quite deep round here, so I might put a bit of XPS foam in now and then go over it again with a bit more. I can always just mix a bit more up. Got loads of plasters, but I'm just going to just give that a bit of a mark. That's quite good there. It just needs to come off that little bit of a lip. And we can do some weathering or whatever on it at some point. And I'll just stick a bit of XPS foam in this massive gap and try and lay down a bit more plaster. I won't colour it this time, I'll just lay it in now for a minute. And go from there really. But I'm quite happy with that result. Even at that colour, I quite like. This track will be painted at some point. Probably the last thing I do, maybe I'll paint it. I don't like black track. Anyway, see you in a minute. Okay, so had a bit of an emergency. As I was smoothing it out, it cracked. So what I've done, I know I've not coloured it, because I was just wanting to get it done really. So I've just gone round and filled in underneath with some plaster of Paris, and I've done the same round here. I've just made this wall smooth and filled it in round here as well. I think it's going to look good. So I know I've got to colour it and weather it and whatnot, but I'm going to give that a bit of time to dry. Give that a few hours to dry. Clean up this mess because it's plaster of Paris and it just gets everywhere, doesn't it? It's even up here on my bloody. I can wipe that down with a bit of water. That's water on a cloth. That's fine. Yeah. So I think once that dries, I can come back and start smoothing it out again. I was a bit too quick, I think, and it started to crack a bit. I might fill that hole in anyway, and I just wanted to give it a bit more support. But I think it's going to be all right now. So we'll leave it there for now, and we'll pop back later once it's quite dry, and then we'll go from there. Right, back again. So, okay, what have we done today? Just recap. Highlighted the rocks, made them a bit lighter, which is good. Tried to do a repair on this corner. Just waiting for the paint to dry. Come around there, filled that gap in now. I don't know why I painted it brown. Doesn't really matter. I'll go over it in, well, I don't know what I'm going to go over it in. I might go over it a bit of black, leave a bit brown. But I'm just waiting for that to dry. And then we'll do some more. Still loads to do, but I'm quite pleased with the rocks. I've got to paint that bit of blue there, and just nicked it as I put the track in. Apart from that, everything else is looking kind of good, really. I like it. I do like it. Looks pretty good, that mountain side. Get some boulders and bits of grass in the cracks and stuff, and we are good to go. Let's wait for this brown to dry, and then I'll rebuild the track and crack on for the next bit. Catch you on the flip.